Hey there, everybody. JP Guidry here with Guidry Golf and Sport. We're on number 3 today in my 5 pillars of golf performance training. Again, I want to thank Mississippi Golfer Podcast for having me on. And so let's get started. So, number 1, we talked about building a solid strength base. Our last section, we talked about having good mobility and proper control of that mobility. Number 3, we're going to talk about power development. And this kind of builds off the solid strength base. So before you get to this level, you need to build that solid strength base. But once you've got that, now we need to be able to move fast and move with power. And so what this means, and essentially power is moving a load, a weight, in the shortest time possible. So we're adding speed to everything. And there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. As golfers, the number one area I think I can help golfers out is their ability to use the ground and create force of the ground. Everything starts from the ground up in the golf swing. We've got to be able to get into the ground, and then we've got to be able to get out of it. We've got to be able to get out of it fast with a lot of force, and that's what helps create speed in the golf swing. Not only do we need to be able to create speed, but we've got to be able to hit the brakes too. When we're swinging and that pelvis and that lower body goes towards the target, at some point the lower body hits the brakes, and that allows that upper body to go, and then that upper body slows down, which allows the arms to go, and then the arms slow down, which allows the club head to go. And that builds up speed into the head of the club, which obviously goes into the ball. So you've got to be able to have the strength and the power to create that speed, and you've got to have the strength to put on the brakes and control that speed. And this is what the longer hitters do. They use the ground. I've been fortunate to work alongside James Lights in his facility, and he's got 3D, he's got force plates, he's got research grade force plates and the Spartan Move software, and we've been learning a lot since he's got those. And we've had some high level players. We had the guy, I think his name's Taylor Moore, maybe Trevor Moore, led the Korn Ferry Tour in distance. I think he actually led both tours in distance. Weighed about 160, 165 pounds, and this guy could use the ground. And what we see with the players that hit the ball the furthest is they get into the ground earlier in the golf swing, they get out of the ground earlier in the golf swing, so they squat and they jump earlier in the golf swing, and they do both with greater magnitudes. And then their rotational speed, same things. They start back towards the target early on in the swing, and then they hit the brakes on that well before they're getting to impact. And so when I'm working with players, when I'm getting them strong in the lower body, that's one of our biggest goals is for power development. And you've got to be able to use the ground, and the best way to learn how to use the ground is to get strong. And once you get strong, then you learn how to create power with that strength. So the way we do that is through jumps, box jumps, squat jumps, single leg jumping, lateral jumping, rotational jumping. We've been working on some stuff with the force plates, and what we found is the rotational vertical jumping, and even rotational jumping with a backwards emphasis. So trying to land behind where you started. Both 90 degree, 180 degree jumping have been correlated with similar ground forces to what we see in the golfers that hit the ball a long way. Also med ball, so we're training upper body rotation. We might do some seated med ball stuff, some half kneeling med ball stuff to build some upper body power. When I do standing med ball stuff, so rotational tosses, scoop tosses, I try to go low to high emphasis, and I try to have the emphasis of using the ground to create the rotation. So driving that lead leg up, driving that pelvis up and around as you throw the ball to the wall, or to your target, and create that speed. More advanced versions of this are going to be your Olympic lifts and your Olympic lift variations. So your cleans, your jerks, your jerk presses, your snatches, and all the variations of that, which I use a lot more of the variations. I'm not as skilled at teaching the full moves themselves, the Olympic lifts themselves. So I'll use some breakdowns of those lifts while we're still getting the body moving fast. We're still moving the bar fast. We're moving a weight fast. As well as just taking those strength exercises, your squats, making it a speed squat. speed deadlifts, speed bench, speed presses. You're lightening the load a little bit and you're trying to move the bar as fast as you can. The big emphasis I want to get across with this is intent. If you want to train to move fast, you have to move fast. So many people do these jumps, they do these med ball, they do these power exercises, but they do them slow. And you're really kind of defeating the purpose. The purpose of the exercise is to move that implement as fast as you can, safely, with good mechanics. That's the part of having a coach teach you that. But you should be moving fast. You should be moving with the intent of speed. And so even the tools like super speed and the similar things on the market like that, I love those because they do kind of build the intent of speed. Your only goal with those things is speed, speed, speed. Move that implement, move that bar, move that stick, move that med ball, jump off that ground as fast as you can with as much power as you can. So that's been power development. That's number 3 on my 5 pillars of golf performance training. You can find more about me, find me on social media at Guidry Golf and Sport. And check out my YouTube channel, Guidry Golf and Sport. Plenty of exercise examples for power development. If you have any questions, reach out to me at John Paul, JOHNPAUL, at Guidry, GUIDRY, PT.com. Thank you.